What's up? It's Matt Plapp. We're back with our second edition of ABR Live, and I'm going to walk you through every episode, what we're talking about in these sessions. First, if you got a chance, comment below, like the video where you're seeing it, but also subscribe on YouTube, America's Best Restaurants. I'm Matt Plapp, CEO of America's Best Restaurants. I'm coming to you live from the Deep Work Studios at America's Best Restaurants in Florence, Kentucky. And if you don't know who we are, stay tuned. We're going to show you exactly who we are. So we came up with this concept of having an episode every week to tell our story. It started off as a story because we're going to need to recruit 75 to 100 people next year to join the ABR team. But then also, we're going to be visiting upwards of 8,000 restaurants in the next year. So I figured, you know what? Let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's let independent restaurants see, as well as the employees or potential employees or franchises or partners, whatever, because we're looking for a lot of different things down the road with regards to the America's Best Restaurants brand. We'll get to that a little later on at the end of the episode. But first, we've got on the screen the countdown, kind of like Sports Center, of what we're going to do. I'm going to talk about our mission real quick. Then we're going to go to an episode of the week, which I think I saw in here is the Fat Lamb. Sounds like an awesome place. Then we're going to talk about building a database and the importance of that with my man, Tom Mosher, who heads up the build team at America's Best Restaurants with our software database Dynamite. Then we're going to review the upcoming episodes. Then my man, Luis, has a special guest to talk to, and then we're going to wrap up the episode. So we'll be live with you about 30 minutes. And of course, you can catch the replay. So what is America's Best Restaurants and why are we doing what we're doing? About 3 years ago, I noticed the biggest problem in the restaurant business from an online marketing standpoint was you don't control where your visibility is coming from. And what I mean is platforms like Yelp and Google and even Facebook to some extent, you don't control the narrative. And it got me thinking, what if we created a place where we didn't have to list every restaurant? Because a lot of online platforms, every restaurant is listed regardless of they're great or they suck. What if we went out, built a team to find the independent restaurants that we know are legit? And legit can be judged a lot of different ways, but what we look for are independent restaurant owners that are doing it right. And occasionally we bump up against a franchise that's a small, locally operated franchise that's kind of on an island, but has an operator with a cool story. But for the most part, America's Best Restaurants is independent mom and pop restaurants. And what we're looking for is the ability to tell your story. I know that one of the things that restaurants struggle with is letting the people around them know who they are, why they're doing it, and how badass they are. Well, America's Best Restaurants is on a mission to change that. So what we're doing right now, we have two vans, one on the East Coast, kind of East Coast, Midwest by us in Kentucky, Cincinnati area, and then one on the West Coast, which is actually parked right now in Twin Falls, Idaho. Those vans, starting in January, because we're off for the holidays, will pick back up and be visiting between 25 to 40 restaurants per week for 50 weeks in 2022. We are visiting independent restaurants to help you tell your story, list you on americasbestrestaurants.com, and then also market for you on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Instagram stories, TikTok, Facebook. We're hoping to help you get your story told, because what we saw in the pandemic was that the people who supported restaurants supported ones they had a deeper connection with, not the franchise chain restaurants that they really don't know who the person behind the screen is. So that's our vision with it, is to get out on the streets one-on-one and help restaurants tell their story online. And then on the back end of it, America's Best Restaurant stands for attract, build, retain. Our marketing side of our company and our software side of the company want to help independent restaurants build databases of people that they should have in a database. We're going to talk about that with Tom. And then our marketing services company, Restaurant Marketing That Works, is going to teach and help restaurants understand how to retain people's eyeballs. You've got this phone in every freaking pocket, at every stoplight, at every table. It's a billboard that you need to own that most of you don't. So let's get on with America's Best Restaurants Live, episode 2. Let's check out our first segment today, the featured episode of the Fat Lamb. What's up? It's Matt, America's Best Restaurants. And as you know, we're on the road across the country to find restaurants you need to know about that you can eat at weekly. Well, we found an awesome one. We're in Louisville and we're at the Fat Lamb. The Fat Lamb, tell us about you and the restaurant.
All right, we're a small 65-seat family-owned restaurant. I bought it, my wife, and we're partners in it. It's just us, and we've been here since 2016, and we are here for the neighborhood. We support the neighborhood. We have a lot of neighborhood regulars that come in, and that's what we do. We change the menu seasonally. Yep. We try to use a lot of local farmers. We got Farmer Bob's Greens. We got a guy who grows mushrooms for us, a guy who raises duck for us. So it's kind of cool to have all these different farms involved with what we're doing and kind of supporting the community that way too. So yeah, it's just my little labor of love.
And you've had some stardom yourself too in the food world.
Yeah, I got to be on Chopped in 2019 and it was fantastic. It was a great experience and I won, which made it even better. But it was called the Chicken Challenge. Yeah. So I had chicken in every course, which we serve chicken here, but we don't serve it in every course. Yeah. So our goal is to help people find a place they eat at weekly. Nice. We've heard from people that they eat here weekly, that this is exactly what we're looking for. What are 3 items we've got to try today when we're here? Well, definitely the duck breast. Okay. We do a cumin and smoked paprika seared duck breast. Okay. With whipped potatoes, a little bit of cherry balsamic barbecue sauce, and some smoked peanuts. Okay. So it's kind of like a barbecue dish, but a lot more refined. It sounds amazing. And then we have lamb meatballs with tzatziki sauce, some pepperoni, a little feta cheese, and some arugula. That's a weekly dish. We see people come in and they eat that weekly for sure. Okay. Like some people get it to go twice a week. Okay. And then dessert. Everyone raves about our Nutella Mousse. We have a Nutella and mascarpone cheese mousse. And it's kind of like a cheese dessert mixed with a sweet dessert at the same time. It's tart and sweet, has little Italian cherries on it, and some toasted hazelnuts. So yeah. we got a lamb dish, we got some lamb meatballs, and we got something for the sweet too. Exactly. Well, exactly. Cool. Well, let's go out inside and check it out. Perfect. Okay, we're back and we've got the 3 items as promised. I guess first let's start with the one right in front of me. What do I have here? Awesome. So you have cumin and smoked paprika rubbed Maple Leaf Farms duck breast. Going with a little mashed potatoes, some cherry barbecue sauce. Oh my goodness. A little smoked paprika peanuts and some broccolini sauteed with some garlic. So you got your... What is broccolini? Broccolini is a cross between Chinese cabbage and broccoli. So you eat the stems, you eat everything. It's kind of tender and kind of sweet at the same time, but not funky like broccoli gets when you cook it. So I like the crunch. That's amazing. If I had that as a kid, vegetables wouldn't have been a big deal. It's my daughter's favorite vegetable, so yeah. That's excellent. And that barbecue sauce. It's great. We take dried cherries and we make it in with balsamic in our barbecue sauce and kind of cook it down with it and then puree it. So yeah, it's kind of like duck with cherry sauce. Yeah, but a little southern mixed in. So that's phenomenal. Next is our take on a gyro, basically. Okay. It's lamb meatballs with feta cheese, tzatziki sauce, roasted red pepper, and a little bit of arugula on top. Okay. So, but yeah, it's kind of like gyro without the pita. Without the pita. So yeah. So I got less carbs. I call it the gateway to lamb, actually. Oh, wow. So that is phenomenal. So if we get someone that comes in the restaurant and they're not comfortable eating lamb, this is kind of what I suggest if they want to try it, because it's one of those lamb dishes that you taste and you just want to try it again. It's one of those. I wouldn't have known. I mean, exactly. Yeah, it's mellow, but you still get a little lamminess. But the gyro, you get the kind of gyro thing going on. I got it. So, love it. Now, is it gyro or gyro or gyro? I call it gyro. There we go. So this is our Nutella Mascarpone mousse. It's got a little amarena cherries, some toasted hazelnuts, a little whipped cream, and some chocolate shavings. So it's very rich and kind of tart at the same time.
Goodness.
This is what I actually did on Chopped when I was on Chopped. So it's kind of
world famous bite.
This is what people come in and they try. And the one on Chopped had all kinds of crazy ingredients in it. This one obviously doesn't. This is a little more refined, but yeah.
That is phenomenal. Where do you get the inspiration? Like, where does it come
This
from?
was a happy accident. That's, a lot of stuff that I do just kind of comes from, my experience in the restaurant business. But this was a happy accident, actually. It came out when we were trying to figure out the dessert for a party, and I had a bunch of Nutella, and I was like, what am I going to do with this Nutella? And I was like, well, I'll mix it with some mascarpone cheese and some sugar, and we'll see what happens in the food processor. And it whipped up into this mousse. And I played with the ratios and got it right, and now it's kind of a staple. We've had it forever. So, yeah.
That's delicious.
Good stuff.
So how can people find out more about the restaurant? How can they find you online?
Go to our website. It's fatlamblouisville.com. It pops everything up, and it's got all the info right there.
You're active, I'm guessing, on social media,
Absolutely,
Facebook, Instagram.
absolutely. Fat Lamb Louisville is our handle on both those, and look us up. Instagram is where I post all my pretty food pics, and people can see what we do.
Cool, there you go. Fat Lamb in Louisville, check them out online, social media. You can also check them out at americasbestrestaurants.com. I can promise you it won't disappoint. It's amazing, but it's time for y'all to leave because I have a date with this dish. See you later.
I got to say, the actor in that episode was phenomenal, Tom. I feel like that could be a Grammy nomination of some sorts. But I'll tell you, Dallas down there at the Fat Lamb, unbelievable food. That dessert dish will have you coming back for more. But coming back for more is predicated a lot of times on having somebody's information to be able to invite them back. So, Tom, let's talk about one, tell us who you are with our company. And let's dig into the importance of data.
Sure. My name is Tom Mosher. I handle the operations and fulfillment of the programs that we build for our clients. And I do want to get started by saying Louisville is just a short drive away. I'm ready to go down there to the Fat Lamb to check that out. But basically what I do, our traffic team, Ashley and her team, they develop the offers, the ads that will attract people to go into our clients' restaurants. Once they opt in, which is a term that we use, once they opt in to receive those offers, that's when me and my team, that's when we take over. We collect their information and we get them going down certain paths, certain customer journeys, so we can take those new customers, so we can take those lost customers, people who haven't been to that particular restaurant in a while, and turn them into frequent customers.
And something you use, Tom, that we actually just recently added this to our survey. We've got an internal survey that our team does that you know about, where as we visit restaurants, we look at what they're doing. Are they capturing customer data in the restaurant, on their website? Do they have engaging social media? One of the things we just added in there is, are they utilizing automation? So talk about automation, because a lot of restaurants, you can probably go to a restaurant right now in our area, go to their website, and there's going to be a place that says, hey, join our email newsletter, and you fill it out, you give them your email, and then nothing happens. So talk about what that means and why it's important.
Sure. So one of the ways that we attract people to go into these restaurants is we like to deliver offers. Come in, visit us. Here's a free appetizer when you do. Well, somebody can receive that offer, and if nothing really happens after that, we've tested this in the past, our redemption rate, or the people who come in and actually use that offers, when we do not send automated reminders. After 15 days, we will send a text message if they have not used. We actually deliver 4 offers at once, and we can talk a little bit about that if you want. But if nothing has happened in 15 days, we automate a message that will remind that person, hey, you have 4 offers to come in and check us out. So come in and check us out. And then you go a few steps down the path, another 15 days. And depending on how many of those offers have been redeemed, we like to see 2 redemptions, ideally within the first 30 days, 2 offers that have been redeemed. We send conditional emails. We send this if no offers have been redeemed. We'll send a different thing if 1 offer has been redeemed. So every step of the way, we're trying to get that consumer to take a different action. And not only is it time dependent, but it's also how that consumer identifies themselves. Are they brand new to the restaurant and maybe don't know much about the brand? Or are they a frequent customer? We can take them down a completely different path. It's all spaced out. It's all automated. We want to stay in front of those people quite often to drive those visits.
Yeah, I was looking at through my phone. I came across one for Duck Donuts, a location we deal with in Arizona, and
Yeah.
it says, "Hey Matt, you've got 4 offers with a face," and it's because
with
I
the
haven't used
crazy
it.
emoji.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't
It's like,
used.
come in and use these.
And what's cool is that you have it set up to where it says, Matt, you've got 3, you've got 2, you've got 1. You haven't used your appetizer. You can do a lot of cool stuff. But for me, what's really cool, and I was explaining this to a restaurant recently, and they didn't really understand it until I really spelled it out this way. I said, I want you to imagine when that person fills out, here's my email address on your website. One, you don't have enough data. You have an email address. But let's just say you get everything. We get name, we get gender, email address, phone number, birthday, and visit frequency. We have a lot of cool stuff to take people down different paths. But what happens when they fill that information out on our end, they're instantly reaching email, text, Facebook, and Instagram. They're not just going into a database sitting somewhere. You got to go in and manually do something. It's automated, and then it walks them down a path. So there's an importance of that part of being omnipresent in somebody's phone, right?
Sure. And that's why we kind of vary the different channels that we communicate to our clients, how we communicate to their customers. In 2 weeks, it's a text. In another 2 weeks, it's an email. We'll do Facebook posts that are very likely to generate high engagement, and we can put those in front of our clients' customers as well. So we vary the channels that we communicate, and that's how we achieve that omnipresence.
Yep. And then last question about the offers. Why 4 offers? What's the concept there? What have you seen when we give somebody just a free appetizer, 1 offer, or we give them an appetizer, a lunch, a dessert, an entree?
So we used to deliver 4 offers sequentially, one at a time. And kind of thinking about myself as a consumer, and the data is there too, if you want to take a look at it. Maybe I'll opt in to receive, let's say, a buy one, get one free entree, right? Well, maybe I don't have like somebody to go to that restaurant with me to enjoy that, but I'm not going to go eat 2 entrees, right? Maybe it's a place I pass by every day for lunch, so the buy one, get one free entree is not right for me. But you see that offer in your newsfeed, you're like, oh man, this place looks great, I want to try it. Well, that particular offer is not right for every single consumer. And the data would show that, to where people would opt in to receive offers, but maybe not redeem it. Or since we would deliver 4 offers sequentially, they'd get hung up on that second offer, where that 4th offer might be the perfect one for them. And then you've got a customer for life. So we didn't want anybody to get hung up in that sequence or opt in to receive an offer that they may not have a high likelihood of redeeming. So we decided to start delivering all the offers at once. And we think we know, and we do know. I mean, we've worked with hundreds upon hundreds of restaurants over the years. We do have a very good idea of what offers will work. But in marketing, it's best to look at the data. It's best to test. So now we promote all of those different offers with ads. Even if I opt in to receive a particular offer, they'll all be in front of me so I can choose what's best for me. Maybe lunch is best for me that week, and I can go in and enjoy like the free meal upgrade when I buy a sandwich or something like that. Or maybe it is a weekend where a buy one, get one free entree is the best. I have a choice, and I'm much more likely to visit that restaurant sooner with a choice of offers.
Yeah. And one of the things also to tie a ribbon around that is what I like to tell restaurants is we're trying to bribe people in a professional way to get their information so we can market to them. But also you can give them really cool, like maybe a buy one, get one free entree, which has a very high value. But also you want to move them into a place where you're going to benefit that you currently aren't. Let's face it, restaurant workers aren't the greatest at selling desserts. They aren't the greatest at selling appetizers. People come to lunch when they're in the area for lunch. Well, if you can give people 3 other offers, that is, hey, here's your free brownie dessert. Hey, here's a free order of onion rings, or hey, here's a buy one, get one free lunch. Now you've just helped move that person in a direction where you need a lift, because desserts, especially desserts, most of them are pre-made. They're ready to go. There's not a ticket time on them, and they're a very high profit margin. But people eat too much before they get to it, and then the servers just aren't salespeople. It's just not what they do. But digital can really help sell that story and increase sales in places that other things aren't going to.
100%. I love the free dessert offer. There's 3 different ways you can help a restaurant increase their sales. Get new customers, which we do with our ads. Get more frequency out of the customers you have, which we do with our ads, which we do with our database, so on and so forth. And then you can increase the average check. The free dessert offer, free appetizer to an extent, but free dessert even more. No, very few people buy dessert, but a lot of these places have great desserts. If you can get people kind of hooked on that and make that part of their experience every time, check averages go way up.
Love it. Well, Tom, thanks for your help, brother. I appreciate it. And thanks for what you do for the team. Now we're going to head over and see what visits we have coming up.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So my name is Luis, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I have a guest here for Certified Legit, and my guest is Andrew Caplinger from Caplinger's Fresh Catch Seafood Market. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear, Luis.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you being here. And so this segment is called Certified Legit. So there are places that impress me so much that I have to say that they're certified legit. And there's certain criteria. I've never really designated what that is, but I was really, really impressed with your restaurant. So that's why I wanted to have you on here. So for the people watching, can you tell them a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, my name's Andrew Caplinger, and I was sort of born and raised in the seafood business in a place that most people don't think of great seafood here in the Midwest. I'm in Indiana, and I had the blessing of learning how to do something that not a lot of people know how to do here, and that's good fresh seafood. And I started when I was a kid with my dad, and we opened up our Caplinger's Fresh Catch, our first store actually the 26th. In 3 more days it'll be our 8-year anniversary, and we've got 5 of them now. So it's been a wild ride and a lot of fun. So that's in a very small nutshell.
That's great. Well, happy anniversary here coming up in 3 years. Obviously, you guys are doing something right since you have 5 locations. And, I'll tell you this, what really, really impressed me when I walked into your restaurant the first time, I was like, I saw the whole showcase of seafood. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, this guy's not messing around. But then what took it to the next level for me was that you told me, oh, yeah, whatever you get here, we can cook it for you. So it's not just shopping for seafood. You guys can make it, which was amazing. And, I was super impressed, too, with the calamari fries. I'm still daydreaming about those. Those are amazing. And I don't know how you got that consistency, but you need to go to Indiana, go check out Caplinger's because that place is amazing. I also love the alligator. Oh my God, the alligator bites were amazing. The clam chowder, at the first location, at the one in Shadeland, the OG location, that clam chowder was really, really good too. And the fried oysters. And also, what else did I have? The lobster roll.
Smoked tuna salad also.
Yeah,
That was,
I had
yep.
I had a lot of stuff. And one other thing that really impressed me too was the breading. I remember telling you, I'm like, you got to sell this breading because I wanted to put it in everything. So, what is your favorite thing to have from your restaurant? Like, what's your go-to item?
Oh man, really, it can depend on the day, but today I had catfish, and it seems like I've had our fried catfish quite a bit. But I always tell my customers that everything that's on there, you could literally start throwing darts at our menu, and whatever it lands on, they're going to be a happy camper. But there's, our Caplinger special sandwich, which is made with a fish called basa. It's a super mild white flaky fish. That's one that we'll sell 2,500 to 3,000 pounds a week of that fish between all of our stores. So that's obviously a very, very popular one. We do, tons of shrimp. We sell probably more alligator than the average restaurant around. Our lobster roll was ranked 19th best in the country. So we do a lot of lobster rolls. So it just depends on the day, man. That's the cool thing with seafood is you have so many different varieties out there, whether it's textures, flavors, just anything out there with seafood. There's something out there that somebody's going to like. Whenever I get somebody that says they don't like seafood, they just haven't had the right thing yet, or it's just not been prepared right.
I agree with you 100% because I mean, I don't know anybody who wouldn't like I said, those calamari fries, which come on, I've been thinking about those every day. The alligator, the alligator, phenomenal. You also have frog legs, and I asked you, I'm like, okay, what's the deal with the frog legs? And you're like, well, they're pretty close to the sea, so pretty close to the water, so why not? Makes sense.
Yep. Yep. Just like the alligators. So
exactly. Well, I really appreciate the opportunity for us to go feature your restaurant. And I tell everybody about your restaurant because it's not a traditional seafood restaurant. You can not only shop for fresh seafood and then take it home and cook it, but if you don't want to do that, they'll prepare it for you, which is very hard to find that. So you can go and choose your own piece of tilapia or choose your own calamari or fresh tuna, whatever it is that you want that they have there. The oysters. Oh my God, you gave me an oyster shooter that was amazing at the last location. So there's so many different choices that you have when you come to Caplinger's. So I highly, highly recommend it to everybody. That is why it is one of my certified legit restaurants. And again, Andrew, I really appreciate just your candidness, your hospitality of hosting us and just being able to provide this brand and this amazing fresh seafood to the people in Indiana. It's amazing.
I mean, it's hard to imagine, knowing 8 years and 3 days ago that we'd be where we are today. And it's just, it's been a dream come true. So it's pretty cool.
And then hopefully the last thing is hopefully you're working on having your own catfish farm. Am I right on that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've got our funds secured. Hopefully right after the first of the year, we're going to be closing on a property down in southern Indiana, and we can start raising our own catfish down there. So it's going to take a while to get all that stuff rolling, but hopefully in another year or so, we'll be providing our own catfish to ourselves. So super stoked about that.
That's exciting. Well, really, I wish you much success and congratulations again on the anniversary of the 8th year of the OG location in Shadeland. And thank you for coming on to the show in such short notice because I called you yesterday. You're like, oh, yeah, definitely, I'll do it. So I really, really appreciate it.
That's my pleasure. We appreciate working with you, Luis.
Awesome. Thanks. So now we got to send it back to Matt to finish up the episode. So, Matt, take it over.
Wow. Love it, Luis. Catfish Farm. I thought I had some ambitions. That is some awesome stuff happening there. So that's the alarm that went off. And it's about time to wrap the episode up. We got a couple more minutes. So, David, I don't know if you have it queued up, but if you can pull the website up, that would be awesome to walk through a couple things that restaurants need to know about, that people that might want to be on the team might need to know about. So I guess I'll wait and see if the screen pops up. There is no screen going to pop up. But another thing while I wait for that, that's going to happen is we're going to release a video, I think tomorrow, on our trip to Western Kentucky. If you don't know what we did, America's Best Restaurants and myself, we leveraged our database. We leveraged my reach, the people who follow me that know, like, and trust me, to help Daniel Carr and Carr Steakhouse down in Western Kentucky. If you haven't seen it, go to the news, check it out, and look up, and you will see. And David, I see your screen. It's you got it, your desktop in the middle of me. But you'll see Daniel Carr his restaurant was devastated by the tornadoes down in Western Kentucky, and his restaurant is decimated. It's literally done. It's a pile of brick, and a lot of his employees were affected. And I happened to see on LinkedIn Sunday before last a post he made about this, and it was heart-wrenching because not only is it heart-wrenching normally for people's businesses to go away, to get destroyed, but also for employees to lose a job. But it's weeks before Christmas, and we wanted to put together something to help. So with your help, a lot of people that watch our channels, we raised right around $9,400. We went down there and we supplied Christmas gifts and gift cards to Amazon because we weren't sure what stores were available in that region for 18 families, 36 kids. So that was great. The video is going to come out tomorrow. So David's got the screen on here right now. It's down in the corner, and if you make it really big. So what we've got here is I want you to know two things about what we're doing. Number one, I want you to know about the Get Featured page. So if you're a restaurant that's interested, you're an independent restaurant that's interested in us telling your story for you, when we visit, it's free. I always like to say there's no strings attached. There's opportunity, because you have an opportunity to work with us in a limited capacity in the future, or maybe learn a lot about marketing. But if you're interested in the journey, you can go on here, you can see some examples, and you can click a form to get featured. It'll come to our team, and then we'll reach out to you. We're going to be in Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, Tennessee, and I think maybe even Michigan over the next 4 months. And then we're going to also be on the West Coast, out in Idaho, Montana, Nevada, all those places over the next couple months. Next thing is the hiring page. So if you can go to the jobs page up in the top right corner, the little sandwich menu, if you click, I think it says jobs on there. We're looking to hire people. We're looking to interview people and get prepared for the future. Maybe you're looking for something to do in a year. Maybe you're looking for something to do in 2 years. Maybe you're looking to possibly, I don't even know if we're open into investment, but you never know what we might do. We're going to be adding vans. We have 2 on the road now. We're going to add 4 ideally, and the motorhome in the year of 2022. And our goal is to hit Florida, Arizona, Tennessee area, and then somewhere up north in maybe Michigan, Chicago, somewhere like that. There's the plan. David's got a stat up here. So this is what we're looking to really do, is find the restaurants in those areas, but also we're looking to find people to help us on this journey. It might be a concept once we have everything really buttoned up in 6 months or a year that we decide to franchise. It might be a concept that we decide to do some, what would you call it? Licensing. It might be something where we just partner with other businesses and make this thing happen. But I know it's needed, and we're looking to do it. This is a sheet that talks about where we're going with our van here in Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, what states, what wild cards. As you can see on there, we're going to be in Bowling Green and Tennessee, the end of February. March and April, we're going to be in West Virginia. May and June, Chicago area. July and August, Cleveland and Pittsburgh. September and October, St. Louis. And then, of course, every month we're in Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana. But our vision is by 2026 to have a lot of vans, 30-plus vans, 100,000 episodes filmed. We're going to be doing a lot of really badass stuff. If you're a person that's interested in having any conversation with this, you don't have to have experience in what we do. America's Best Restaurants, either the Get Featured for restaurants or the page for jobs. It's time to end the episode. David, thanks for being behind the controls. I'm Matt Plapp. We'll see you next week. Remember, America's Best Restaurants, helping restaurants tell their story online like nobody else. We'll see you next week.